I don't think any of us actually thought that I could keep it to 15 minutes this morning, did you? I'm just trying to break them up. So this one's not going on the Makers Movement. This is a Facebook Live video that's going to go on my YouTube feed. Drop a comment and ask me anything. So I want to talk about some warping. Now, you can't talk about warping as an entire... So we're talking about warping. We're talking about warping again. We will continue to talk about warping probably for as long as any of us have a heart to break, because warping seems like anyone who gets into this far enough is going to feel like warping is just going to be a part of your life. And I want to see us... Boy, it's good to see some of your names skeeling out there. Eric, Greg, Lance, good to see you guys on here. I know there are more of you. But warping is this, boy, it's a beast for board makers, especially small batch craft board makers. A lot of us are very tender, we're very vulnerable. If we press 10 boards and 2 of them, 6 of them, 5 of them are warped, our hearts break and we despair of being able to, oh boy, there's a lot at stake for a lot of craft board makers. So I want to bring up, I have in my shop an assembly of materials here. I have got boards that are warped. I've got 4 boards with a warp over here. I've got 2, 3. I've got 7 or 8 boards without a warp, pressed on different presses. I have another 2 boards in the racks right now that come from the same batching about a year and a half ago. Yes, I haven't run my presses since a long time. Maybe, actually, I think I ran them in February. You know what, this might not be a year and a half old wood. You're gonna get that with me. It's busy up here, so, you know, some of the things I say you're gonna have to understand they're coming from a very fallible person. I think you get it. I'm sure you get it. But we're talking about warping today, and I wanted to bring out one of the reasons I got warps. And this is something that's pretty simple to avoid, but not easy. And it is stacking the veneer at the glue table with multiple widths of veneer. Okay? So, you know, you're scrounging around and you're buying veneer, and you got some like 12, 13 inch wide veneer, you got some 10, 11 inch wide veneer, you know, that's 2-inch differences. And I found through my years of board making that I could usually left or right justify them. And okay, so now I'm seeing comments popping up about how bad warps can be. We're going to talk about that in a minute. It might be a whole different one. How much warping is a deal breaker? For going out the door, you want everything to be pinned straight. You want everyone to think that you're magical, that you're a unicorn, and that everything you make is completely superior to anything that's ever been made. But that's not real. All right. Wow. I'd like to dispel that right now. The things that make craft-made wood special are good laminate quality, but are even more that you have a person behind it. But we're gonna go, so back to warping. Let's just talk about it. I've got here a cut set. All right. So this is a cut set. These are not the same. No. These come from. Let's see. That's yellow, blonde. Oh, it's in paint right now. So the deck from this cut is in paint right now, being finished up. It's this copy project I was working on all this time. I mean, for a long time. I got a great tattoo. I want to advertise this artist, but I first want to complete my debt to them. I owe them more than the boards they're getting on this project, because they're getting 3 boards. They wanted 1, and I'm not sure they want 3 boards because they're getting a mild warp board, which is totally still it's still warped. Probably not going to relax out. Might be a wall hanger. They're getting of course, their original board back, and they're getting a ridiculously flat version. It's not ridiculous. It's a mellow version of the board. Same tail height to here, but just a different vector from my longboard mold. And that was my accident that was part of this journey. It's straight as a pin, right? Isn't it? Yes, it's straight as a pin. Beautiful. And then they've got the one that's in paint right now, which has a tiny warp. Tiny, tiny, not perfect, but definitely I'm okay with something coming out. Now, if it gets worse and it corkscrews on someone, guess what? They've got the person who made it ready to go, you know. But so warping, I have a board set here. This is a cut set. So a cut set is the cutoffs. Yeah, that's gonna happen. It's the sides and the front and back of the board cutting. So if I do a quick forensic on this board layup, here's the one side. And if you look down it, you can see that all the veneer is laid up nice and tight to each other. And here's the other side. You look down it, you'll see that the veneer has got, there's like 1/4 to 1/2 an inch, and there's like almost a full inch. No, that's more of a 1/2 an inch too. Oh no, there you go. There's a full inch of flash on there. And so when it cured, it was curing with a flush edge and a flash edge. Lots and lots of extra on this side. Extra that was not pressed. Basically, this thing was pressed with a lot of extra on one side that was all rough and weird and could interact with the air, didn't have the same tensile strength, and was not centered into the press. Maybe it was hanging out of the press. Oh, I'm glad I taped everything down. I would have knocked you all over. Hot and cold weather are not my major factors. I'm going to talk today about layup and warping. So, yes, Greg Pravaznik immediately comments the thing I should have been doing and have done before, but, you know, this is me. I found out I could one side justify, press them, pull them out, cure them, and cut them after the 4th day of curing and have no problems with warping. So I decided not to pre-cut everything to the same size, especially because I don't have a really great cutting table. I just have my bandsaw. I was gonna build a table saw into my table, but honestly, since I was getting by with very little warping or variation, and some of that, when there was some, I would cut the deck, let it sit, and it would relax back out. So, you know, I'm not the best. Not the best. But here's the answer. If you're not going to be able to cut them all here's the answer. This board is, this is just, you've got a little bit of angle on the lighting, but this thing is got a great I-beam on it. It's got a shadow on there. That's a great I-beam. I'll take that any day. And how did I lay this up? Because this one has got huge width variances. The way I did it was I centered the pressing on the variance from the bottom to the top. This is advanced math. Like when you're rolling glue, you might not like doing this. I had no problem. I liked doing this, and I felt really good about this. And this one has been curing for a long, long time. And I'm looking down it, and there's nothing going on in this thing, and it held well. So that's been curing for months. Oh, last February, that's a year. That's cool. I have that one, and I have a lot of other examples. Now here's one that was pressed with basically, oh, this one I pre-cut. This one was pre-cut, just like Greg Pravaznik said. It still has a little bit on one side out here, but it's basically pre-cut, and I may have actually cut this after pressing. I may have, I've noticed letting my uncuts cure in stacks has helped reduce warping. I like that idea a lot. Although, if you stack cure, you need to understand, I'm sure, Sam, that you do. And I mean, no, relax. Everybody shake it out. I don't think I'm that smart. But if you stack cure, just know this. that once you've cured a whole bunch in stacks, you'll want to cure them separate as well. And the reason is heaviness more than anything. That glue, man, it is curing in nicely. But if you want to get them light, you'll have to let them cure freestanding. And I had another one warp. I think I know which one it is. I think it is this one right here. I had another one warp, and when I went into my racking, I saw that I had racked it in, and one corner of it had caught on the racking in a way that put it under torsion. They're so tender to torsion when they're wet. Do I know whether that did it? No. But what I will say is today's talk was about laying them up, whether they're justified to one side, and you get a lot of flash. You get a little sugar in me. You get a little flash on the end there. It gets kooky. It gets wacky. Or you lay them up and you dead center them. You can dead center them all the way through the stack, best you can. Good result. Or you can trim them even just after pressing. I mean, look, this one I trimmed before pressing. I can tell because, in fact, that's not the one. Is it? I'm lost, which is normal. Anyways, good talk, good chat. This has been a good chat. Thanks for joining me in here. And I hope that you can see that warping, again, is going to be a topic we return to again and again and again, because a 15-minute talk could be done 20 times and still not cover all the reasons for boards warping. And all of it, friends, all of it goes to say, hey, just keep going. I have a funny thing happening. I have more and more warped boards in my shop. I've been messing with board making, as a job, since 2009. I started building my press. 2010, I pressed my first boards, and 2011, I offered my first boards for sale early. December, anyway, I may be off on some of those days. I know I started October 18th of 2008 with working in my own brand. But I would say don't let warping bum you out, but that's impossible. Warping will bum you out. Warping will happen, and warping will happen for many reasons. And if you can keep warping from happening, good on you. Stack curing is a great idea. I hope you have a great day. Again, leave a comment on the YouTube version of this. Like and subscribe to the channel so that, who knows, maybe I can become a giant YouTube mogul one day. I have my doubts about platforming like that, but I know that this is what I want to be doing. I know this is where we need to be going as skateboarders. I think this is going to turn out to be something that's really, really good for skateboarding in maybe not so long term. But thanks for joining me, and I'm going to post this up on YouTube and then repost it on Facebook as a YouTube share, because I'm a ridiculous shill trying to become a content mogul. Thank you. Have a great day. This is Captain Lou. I will catch you. Yes, I've got a moniker now, Captain Lou. Hilarious. Enjoy your day. Yes.